106.7 WALH. That was Mercury Rev with Goddess on a Highway from the album Deserter Songs. I am Jesse Littleton. We have Third Shift coming up. I'm here with Simon Kingston. Simon, in 2 words, how are you doing today?
Good and tired.
This is Third Shift with Jesse Littleton.
Whoa, it's Third Shift!
I just want to talk about all the awesome things that are happening.
With Jesse Littleton.
Simon Kingston from Waynesville, Ohio. He's still in high school, and he's bringing a style and attitude to his music, and proving that with enough confidence we can all be friends, even though we're all just punks. With the solo release of his latest album, Milk, a daring 16-song album, proves none of us will ever be as cool as Simon. Dark, young, talented, different. Simon Kingston is sitting down with us, talking life, bugs, zygotes, and music. This is a piece from his solo release, Milk. This is Pink Room. 106.7 WALH. This is Third Shift. I am Jesse Littleton, and I'm here with guitar player, singer, songwriter Simon Kingston. Simon, I've asked you once, but how are you?
I'm doing good today. I'm
Good.
a little tired, but I'm good.
We are sitting in the basement of Simon Kingston's house out here in, I guess, Waynesville, you could say, or rural Waynesville. So before we kind of get into it, I guess we're going to do a little bit of an icebreaker here, and so I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
First question is, how old are you?
I turned 16 in February. I turned 16.
What's your favorite color?
I don't know. I kind of like I have favorite mixtures of colors. Like I like blue and pink a lot, and then I like yellow and pink.
Nice.
But most of them have to do with pink, so I'd have to say pink.
Awesome.
Mm.
And that's going to make a lot more sense later in the interview when you find out how much of an incredible artist Simon is. Okay, another question. Can you name a few movies that you kind of dig? You know, if someone's asking you what your favorite movie might be.
I like A Clockwork Orange.
Nice.
I've watched that probably like 6 or 7 times. That's difficult. I don't watch movies as much as most people do.
But if you had to choose one, that's a good one. I'm a big Kubrick Kubrick fan
Yeah,
myself.
and like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
And then the last question, what's your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
I like McDonald's.
Mm.
You know, surprisingly enough.
Anything particular from there?
French fries are nice.
Ooh,
You know?
they're so good. They're hard to beat. Whenever I go for breakfast, I'll get the what's it called? It's the little breakfast burritos things, and they give you a couple things of hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are kind of a guilty pleasure. So every story, you know, it has to start somewhere, and usually we start from the beginning. So we're here in Waynesville now. That's where you live, but where were you born?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in 1999.
And what brought you to Ohio?
My parents had 2 kids, me and my brother Dez, and they kind of wanted to move somewhere. Like they didn't think bringing up 2 babies in New York would be the best thing. And my mom has had family here for a long time, so we moved here. Kind of a more traditional family lifestyle.
Great.
That's what they were going for.
Now, one theme in your life, I think, is a lot of creativity. You know, you're an artist, you're a songwriter, great guitar player, and I'm kind of coining you as a guitar player from something I witnessed. And one of the first times that I got to witness Simon, I think I actually met your mom that night too, was at the Loft in Wilmington, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you were opening for Joe Hogle, and then I believe it was the Stuckert Brothers were jamming with them that night.
Yeah.
But this young guy, and you were what? I mean, you were 15 at the time, probably.
Yeah, 15.
He sat down. It was just him and a guitar. And you see someone that young sit down, you think that what is going to come out is going to be something a bit more amateur. And what had come out was, to me, like nothing I've ever seen. I tell everybody that one of my favorite things I witnessed, last year, was this young guy named Simon Kingston. I mean, it came out dark and eerie, and if I had to describe Simon out there in Radio Land, when I saw him, I thought, who is this young guy? He feels like an old soul sitting there. You kind of took me to a thing where I thought, this guy, he's been here a few times. and your guitar style, it really brought me back to attitude and all the kind of things that I like about rock and roll. So the biggest question, I guess, would be is how did that happen? You know, you're in Brooklyn, you moved to Ohio, you come from a very creative family, but what brought you to music?
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate
problem.
the sentiments. But my dad is probably one of my like first influences with music. Like he would always play Tom Waits CDs in the car, and he was a fan of the White Stripes. And at the same time, he listened to like all the stuff he listened to when he was young. Like I think I remember him, and my mom too as well. Like she was into the Jesus and Mary chain when she was younger.
Right.
And so that kind of like funny 80s music. And then my dad just liked like he'd been into Tom Waits since the 70s, and he's still like buying his new albums. So I've always liked Tom Waits because of my dad.
That's funny you say Tom Waits. That's exactly one of my biggest influence. For those of you who don't know, I'm in a band called Graham Bell Fisher, and Tom Waits, my dad is a piano player too, and he has the most incredible impression of Tom Waits. It's not hard to do with the big voice, but that is one of my influences as well. So Brooklyn, you know, creative family, growing up with some 80s and some cool stuff like White Stripes. When did you write your first song? I know for me that was a big moment. You know, that was a spark that lit a flame that just really won't go out. So what moment was that for you?
Well, I started writing songs like before I knew how to play instruments, and like I can't remember the first one. They were all like I would say pretty awful, but and then I started playing guitar, and I hadn't been writing as many songs. Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 11 or 12. I got my first guitar when I was 7, but I started like really playing when I was 12, and I started a band with my friend Austin, who plays drums for the band I'm in right now. And we wrote the first song we wrote together. It was just me playing guitar and playing drums, like very White Stripes style.
Cool.
And I wrote a song called the Punk Song, is what we called it. And it was pretty much a rip-off of Die Die My Darling by the Misfits.
Okay.
Just played a little bit faster, but I think I would call that my first song.
Well, since we've been talking about it, how about we hear one of these songs? What are you going to play for us first? I'll play a song I did recently. I released like 4 songs by myself recorded them on my tape player, and one of them was called She Said, and a lot of people really enjoyed that song, so I think I'll play that. Great. This is Simon Kingston on 106.7 WALH. This is Third Shift with Jesse Littleton.
Doctor, get a drink of water. I'd like to be inside her. I'd like to be alive. Only in the springtime, in a course for bedtime, I'd like to tell a lie. Oh, she said, you don't smoke your cigarettes right, underneath the moonlight, a bloody tambourine. Oh, she said, you don't drink your alcohol right, I could drink it all night, isn't she so sweet? Mother, tell me why my eyes hurt. Buy another striped shirt. Tell me a lie. Father, put away your mad face. Sister watches TV. Knows she's gonna die. But she said, you don't smoke your cigarettes right, underneath the moonlight, a bloody tambourine. Oh, she said, you don't drink alcohol right, I could drink it all night, isn't she so sweet? Oh, she said, yeah, she said, oh, she said, yeah, she said, oh, she said, yeah, she said, oh, she said, isn't it so sweet? Doctor, get a drink of water. I'd like to be inside her. I'd like to tell a lie.
106.7. This is Third Shift with Jesse Littleton, and that was Simon Kingston. We're sitting here, we're talking music. Simon is a singer-songwriter, if you're just tuning in, from the Waynesville, Ohio area. Now, Simon, I know a little bit about you. I've bought your album, Milk, and it's 16 songs, and it's got a lot of attitude and things that kind of, I'm not a big guy that knows every band or every lyric, but, to me it has this sort of late 60s, 70s, sort of like a punky kind of thing, but it's almost like a Brian Jonestown Massacre. I don't know, there's a simple honesty to it that not a lot of people have the courage to approach music that way, and at such a young age. I mean, it seems like you carry a lot of attitude. So where does that attitude come from?
Attitude. I first probably started having attitude in like elementary school. Like I don't mean to bad talk the school I went to, but it was very weird going there, and I went to a school in the middle of nowhere. The school's like literally in the middle of a cornfield,
right?
And me, just the type of things I believed and stood for. Like a really funny story that I tell people is that I would sit on the desk sometimes and meditate in class, because it really it made all the football players really mad. And it was really funny. But that's probably where my attitude, I suppose, came from.
Sure. And I was talking with someone the other day, and just how high school and school in general, when you, believe it or not, when you're 18, you get to kind of do whatever you want in a way that you can choose the people that you surround yourself with. And just high school, it's such an important part in school in general, junior high, elementary. It really shapes you. And it just comes out, and when I say attitude, I guess it's more of a style, I guess is maybe a better way to put it. So I know that you're doing your solo thing, and it's available at bandcamp.com. I'm sure if you just search Simon Kingston, it'll show up. The one that I heard with 16 songs was called Milk. But what's kind of happening now, you're in a band, and you guys call it the Zygotes. And is everybody from around the Waynesville area that's a part of that? How did you guys all hook up?
It's pretty spread out. It makes it kind of difficult.
Sure.
It started with me and my good friend Zaid Walters, and we started the band with just us two. And he goes to Stivers in Dayton, which is a school that I transferred to for my freshman year, and I'm still going there. But I went to that school, and he was probably one of the first people that I actually opened up to. I was really quiet at first, and it was really strange, because I had gone to a school where the only person, or the only people I could talk to about anything musical, was my really small group of friends, like 4 or 5 people, and still it wasn't like anything really deep with the music we were talking about. And I think me and Zaid sat together on the bus for a field trip, and the whole way there and back we talked about blues music,
right? And
so that was really eye-opening, that people here, a lot of people here are gonna know more interesting types of music. And then so that started the band. That's when we were first officially a band, because we were like, okay, we like all the same music, we should definitely start a band. You know how it goes. And we went through a ton of band members for a while.
Right.
And our bassist Levi, he's the newest addition. He lives in Fairborn.
Okay. And
then we have my friend Austin, who I've known for the longest time. He lives in Wilmington. Okay. So we're in 4 different locations right now. It's sort of difficult. We usually practice here, even though it's a bit of a drive, but pretty spread out.
And again, we're talking about the Zygotes with Simon Kingston. If you were to see the Zygotes in these boys, and I say boys only because I think everybody's probably in high school still, but they are young men, and they're very serious about their rock and roll. from their attitude, the way they dress, the recordings that they're making, even the way you guys brand yourself. There's a lot of confidence behind there that you don't find in teenagers, especially these days. But the one thing that I think's great and pretty amazing about you guys is your look. You guys are carrying it like you've sold 10 million records already. You got big hair,
Oh yeah.
you know, tight pants. You got, you know, stuff that's probably not even from the thrifter, but just from, you know, outside the thrifter. And
Yeah.
but it's refreshing, because it is important to take yourself seriously, and if you're going to go out there and you're going to
Yeah.
tell stories to people.
But I also think it's important to maybe not take yourself so seriously.
Sure.
In the aspect that, like, the shoes I'm wearing I got for $4 at Goodwill.
Perfect. Perfect.
Like, I don't know. I think, and then Austin's hair is probably the main attraction of the band.
Nice.
So, you know.
It is, and it reminds me of a Mars Volta, you know, and kind of their group. But, well, let's get back to a little bit of music. You know, you kind of mentioned the blues thing, and if you were to see Simon, I kind of coined him as a guitar player, because he's got this, I don't want to say Django Reinhardt sort of
I love Django
thing,
Reinhardt.
but I figured you kind of drew some classical influence. Maybe you were him in another life, I don't know.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But either way, maybe play something with a little bit more blues.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Well, she may be old, 90 years, ain't too old to make you shed teeth. Got a bottle up and go, got a bottle up and go. Yeah, my bad women's show, got a bottle up and go. Yeah, mom get her chicken, thought it was the duck. Put him on the table with the legs sticking up. Got a bottle up and go, got a bottle up and go. I battle women, show love the bottle up and go. I went up to the river, had to get across. Jumped on an alligator, thought it was a horse. Had a bottle up and go, had a bottle up and go. All them high-powered women sure got a bottle up and go. Yeah, mama killed the chicken, daddy killed the cow. Saw a man's big dog verse out. Got a bottle up and go, got a bottle up and go. Right, all them high-powered women got a bottle up and go. Sure got a bottle up and go.
106.7 WALH. That was Simon Kingston with a bluesier song called
Bottle Up and Go.
Bottle Up and Go. Now, is that a cover?
Yeah, I've listened to it done by Leadbelly, and John Lee Hooker did a version, so I'm not sure who wrote it, but
Great.
Yep.
So I had to ask, you know, before we get out of here, the band name, the Zygotes. Now, what is the origin of that name?
Well, we took a Pixies approach to it and just flipped to a dictionary, but it was like a weird dictionary with a bunch of stuff in the back, so we ended up in the Z's. But it was pretty funny because we'd been considering the name the Zygotes,
Right.
which I really wanted the band to be called the Zygotes, but we had a bunch of names. I think we were gonna be called Shark Fin Soup at one point. We also had amygdala, which is part of the brain.
Nice.
But that's what we ended up with because we couldn't decide.
Nice.
So we used a dictionary.
Yeah, my dad, if anyone's out there that's looking for a band name, he swears that someone needs to be called the Pine Cones.
That's nice. I could see like a bluegrass band.
Exactly. And I'm sure as we see this, someone will, you know, send us a link that's like, hey, the Pine Cones from
Probably.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, but thank you so much for, you know, coming in with us today. Obviously, we have Milk. It's on Bandcamp. There's some Zygote stuff on Bandcamp as well if you search that. And the Zygotes is spelled and then it's ZYGOTES. Gotes, the Zygotes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Simon Kingston, you can look for him on Bandcamp, and that is Simon King with an Ston. Simon Kingston. What is happening with you guys? What can we look for? I know you guys have been playing out kind of in the Dayton area, so is there anything coming up?
We might be going on tour this summer, possibly like a sort of tour with one of our favorite bands from Dayton, Man Ray.
Okay.
They're really cool guys, and they're pretty young too. Like the drummer Matt is in high school, and they invited us to play a couple of shows, like Indiana, Kentucky.
Great.
And besides that, I mean, hopefully we'll be playing shows all summer around Dayton. We have a show coming up on the 18th. Midwest Movement Art Group is gonna have another art show this summer, so
great.
Tons of stuff, tons of fun.
Very cool. So I'm sitting here with Simon Kingston. We're wrapping things up with here on Third Shift. A couple things to know about him before we go. He's an incredible artist. If you look for us on youtube.com/deadrecordsonline, we should have some photos of the interview, hopefully some video of the interview. You can see a little bit of Simon's artwork. Catch Simon Kingston. Look for the Zygotes online at Facebook and Bandcamp, and also Simon Kingston solo stuff at Bandcamp as well. This is our first show that we've done here on Third Shift on 106.7 WALH. It has been an extreme pleasure. Again, you were one of my favorite artists that I got to witness last year. So for you to be the first one to sort of inaugurate and start this whole new journey for us, we really appreciate it.
It was my first interview too, so thank you.
First time for everything, and it won't be the last. I'm Jesse Littleton. This is Third Shift. And thank you all for tuning in. This is 106.7 WALH. I am Jesse Littleton, and this has been Third Shift. Be sure to find us at WALHradio.com, and for the full video of the interview, go to youtube.com/deadrecordsonline. Tonight's programming was brought to you by WALH, Elm Street Creative Studios, Fly By Night, and Dead Records Online.